in the studio right now, the star of pretty much everything that anyone's ever loved for their entire life, and that's not an oversell, that is true. The great Patrick Warburton is in with us right now. Good morning.
Patrick.
Good to have you here.
Good morning, Kevin and Allie.
Seinfeld, sure. The Tick, sure. Emperor's
Kronk.
New Groove, sure. I mean, the list goes on, and it's crazy for a guy that's known for so many different roles. And now we'll talk about your stand-up, but you get approached by people, and you probably know when they're walking up to you what they're walking up to you for, right? You ever get confused? You ever have an adult that's like, this is going to be a Seinfeld guy, and then he's like, by the way, Emperor's New Groove, man, loved it.
I've been in disguise, actually, for these last, this big, stupid mustache.
Yeah.
I was never a mustache guy. I never liked them. But it's actually been part of the show, early part, so I think I'll keep it. And until we shoot it, we're going to shoot it on Saturday. And then I still have some more touring. And then I'm going to lose this thing. I'm going to lose it.
Are you excited to get rid of the mustache?
I am.
Yeah.
Well, everyone has mustaches now.
I know, it's
Isn't
kind
that
of
the new
cool.
look?
I tried to
Vanessa
pull
was
it
saying
off.
half the guys that she sees on Tinder have mustaches now. It's a mustache look.
She said she's dating and she's out and about. She goes, every guy she meets has a mustache and a baseball hat, just like you. You're the popular look right now. Look at that.
Maintaining that
at
60, at the tender age of 60.
That's crazy. You wear it well. It's funny because whenever I go on the Soarin' ride at Disney, California Adventure, you don't age because obviously that video at this point has got to be 25 years old, 30 years old when you're welcoming everyone to Soarin'.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I'll go on that ride with my kids, and I love to humiliate them in public places. So I'll have the mustache, the hat, and stuff, and nobody in line will recognize me. But when I come on screen, I just tell everybody to shut up because I love this guy. And then,
and then when they hear it, they're like, "Oh my God, it's you!"
And they're all looking around, and my kids just hang their heads in shame.
That's good.
Do you get to go? Do you get to go on that ride whenever you want for the rest of your life, or you still have to pay to get a Disneyland?
Well, usually because I don't get down there too often because we live in Ventura, but I love the joint and I've always loved Disney, but usually when I go, we'll get hooked up with a guide or something.
Oh,
but,
nice. That's a good hookup.
The lazy, it's kind of easy because I go, I want to bring one of my St. Jude friends, so hook us up.
Oh,
and I
nice.
can just,
No, you don't bring them. You just bring a healthy friend. Smart move. That's good.
Kevin. Never.
I saw that there was a change.org petition to change the Splash Mountain ride into an Emperor's New Groove ride. And I know they ended up making it Tiana's Bayou. The change.org petition only has 190 signatures. But still, is that something that you would endorse? Because I am kind of upset with the lack of Emperor's New Groove presence at Disneyland.
Well, it's always been that way, but the Emperor's New Groove, too, is sort of like a cult hit for Disney.
It is.
Did not do great in theaters, but everybody, in the last couple of decades has seen it, and started with kids on DVDs and VHS tapes and whatnot, but it wasn't even promoted that much because it was a rocky road getting it made, and then they had another Disney movie that came out at the same time, 101 Dalmatians, which was live action.
Never heard of it.
That one just sort of disappeared, and that's the one they promoted. So anyways, but...
It's funny, too, because it's got like a 90%. I just saw the Rotten Tomatoes score for that movie. It's like a very high score. And Johnny,
top 3 best ever made.
We'll talk to you about comedy and stuff, but then we have... everyone on this show is a fan of yours for different reasons, so we're going to get into a very exciting round of the man versus the fan, where we will see if we know more about the projects that you've been in than you, and some of them it's been some time. But this Saturday, I didn't realize this is the one you're actually shooting. So this is... You've been doing stand-up officially as a headliner for only a year, which for most people means they're still doing open mics in Pacoima, hoping to get more than 3 minutes on stage. When you're Patrick Warburton, you've been in a bunch of shows and movies, and you're actually good at it, which I will prove in a moment when I play this joke that had Allie and I rolling earlier this morning. You get to pretty much grow from from small little venues to theaters.
Yeah, and I've done that within a year. Now, the thing is, and it is stand-up, you can't... I don't lean into, just industry, anecdotes because that's more of like a night with. So it is stand-up. I was a little bit of a cheat because I was doing a show called Letters from a Nut for a while, which was staged readings of these letters. But I would open that show with 10 minutes of talking, which became 10 minutes of stand-up, which became 15 minutes of stand-up. The show kind of got old for me and was a drag, but that was my favorite part. And a lot of the folks that came to the shows were like, hey, my favorite part is when you open this thing. And I was like, all right, I won't walk away from the show. I'm just going to do stand-up now. So I started, my first headline gig was a year ago, and then I've been touring all year. So this has been the busiest year of my life. And throughout the year, you fix it, you make omits, you add stuff, and so we're actually shooting the show Saturday night at the Old Hotel.
And would you like to have random Kronk weird laugher guy in the audience for the taping?
Absolutely not.
Because there's a weird laugher on a special. Like if and then you hear that person every single time you watch it, like that's unforgettable. But I'm sure it's nice.
Well, we're shooting it, so there's gonna be security.
Yeah,
any hecklers
they'll take him out.
You have a funny laugh or an annoying laugh, or you snort when you laugh, you'll be tossed right out.
No, I think that's all fine. It's the real disruptive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Patrick Warburton.live, by the way, for tickets. We're going to give away a pair, and it's at the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood. It's the first part of the last date, I guess, of your nationwide tour. And then do you retire all of the things you've been working on all year?
You know, it's really not. You know, and I could have shot the special at the end. I mean, you know, after like August, was it or July 10th, I go back east, and I'm doing over a month. I do 30. I'm doing 30 shows. So I'm doing New York, Boston, Connecticut, Boston, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. I mean, everywhere. And that's what you do. You get a rental car. I bring my sticks out there. I play golf with buddies at certain joints, and you just drive from city to city. So I decided to become a road weary comic at 60. But I am having the best, because I've never known this kind of autonomy. I've always been told what to do, what to say,
what to say. These are your lines.
I write all my own material. I found that for the most part, nobody knows how, dysfunctional and weird and can read you like you can't, you know what I'm saying? And when you throw your own perspective. But, yeah.
The last time we had you on, we were talking about your golf tournament, which, by the way, has raised somewhere like close to $7 million, which is incredible. And your golf game, you claim, is getting better. But now there's more and more stories of pros that are accidentally hitting errant shots and hitting fans, right? It happens all the time. Have you ever injured anyone by hitting an errant golf shot at one of your charity events?
Oh, my God, I did.
You did?
Well, that's
one of the St. Jude's kids?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Took out a kid. By the way, we've raised $40 million. Oh,
$40 million?
Yes, and by year
these numbers are very...
well, by year 3, but they're talking about last year. So
that was last
year alone, we raised $6.5.
Wow.
Which is actually more than the FedEx Memphis St. Jude. So we beat St. Jude at St. Jude.
Damn.
Yeah, listen, we're proud of, the success of this event, and it's all for helping the greatest hospital in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
so many people, it inspires so many. But I stopped playing golf at my own event when I did hit the photographer. Now I had it's a par 5. I had like a rescue wood, and the photographer, I could see him about 70 yards up to the left, creep out from behind the bush with this camera, and I was thinking to myself, I wish he was not there. And I dead hook pulled that thing and kept it low off the ground. That took him right in the chest, and he dropped. And it was like a cartoon character. The camera's flying in the air, and he goes down. I thought I killed him, and I go up and I go, that's it. I'm done. And because there's just too much going on when you've got a huge event like this. And we have 2 full, tournaments. We have a concert where we have 9 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame artists on stage all on the same night. I mean, it's a really big, fun event.
Sounds fun.
And in order to, cut time off of that, I just go, Clarky, who's our chairman, I go, I'm not going to play in my event anymore. I'm just going to stay on a hole, and then we'll do all the group photos there, and that'll save us an hour on the night of the concert. Because, literally back then, we put Stephen Stills on stage at 1 o'clock in the morning. You do not do that to a cranky old Stephen Stills.
Right.
I go, we got to get that started earlier, because we go 4 or 5 hours of the concert, but it's been great.
Klein, how do you feel now about the fact that you raised $6,000 for the Special Olympics and pierced your nipple over it?
I pierced the nipple, and all I got was $6,000 for the Special Olympics.
We really got to up our charity game.
$6.5 million.
But he did pierce his nipple for the cause.
I did.
So that's something maybe you can add in next year.
A pierced nipple?
Yeah, just to reach a certain quota.
Yeah. Too late, Allie. Too late. Look at Patrick Warburton. As you know, the nipple is the inspiration. I want to play you a clip from his comedy, which you'll be able to see. We have a pair of tickets to give you. It's happening Saturday, North Hollywood. You will be a part of the special. PatrickWarburton.live for tickets. But here is just a clip, and trust me when I say the man has figured out stand-up very quickly.
I remember when I was in 6th grade, we had a priest come to our class, and he was the head of the National Catholic Boys Choir. And they got to travel the world. They got to go to Austria and sing. And I went home. I said, Daddy, I want to be in that boys' choir. And he goes, well, all right, we'll get you an audition. So the priest came over to our house, and my dad got on the keys, and I guess they were testing to see whether or not I'd cut the mustard. And I don't know what the official diagnosis was, tone deaf or something like that. But I didn't get to be in that boys' choir. I did not get to go to Austria. And that's the story of how I never got molested. So.
That's really just the build-up for the joke, because actually I go into perspective.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's great.
It's
the beginning.
That's just the beginning.
When we return, the man versus the fans with great Patrick Warburton next. KROQ.
Klein, Alley Show.
KROQ, the world famous KROQ.
K-Rock Klein Alley Show in the studio right now. The man, the myth, the legend, Patrick Warburton, who will be doing a live stand-up event on Saturday, June 7th. It's a taping for a special, the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood, and tickets at patrickwarburton.live. We have a pair to give you at the conclusion of this exciting game, which is something that we do from time to time when people get to battle their actual fans. It's time for the man versus the fans. Now, once you've played a lot of roles in shows. Once you move on past those projects, do you tend to just forget everything because you're on to the next thing? Because this is where the fans, I feel like, have the advantage over you, even though you played these parts. We, study these, and we've seen these episodes of Seinfeld a million times, right? Do you know your stuff still? Like, could you go in and do an episode tomorrow and you know your lines?
Well, I don't know if I know my lines. I kind of know what to do. Puddy was a bit of a dolt.
Yeah.
Stupid.
One of the greats. One of the greats. I would argue the greatest. Do you think there was a better peripheral character in that entire show than Puddy?
It was fun. I look back at, how that all went down, which is cool because that was our favorite show. My wife and I, we watched every, Thursday. And then a guy was like, gosh, damn it, I wish I could get on this show. And then 2 weeks later, I had an audition.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and at the time, I was jumping around doing a bunch of shows, so I didn't have to go in for casting. So I went immediately in for producers, which is Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David. And so I did some stuff, and then they laughed, and I go, oh, that went well. And so I did it. They brought me back, but then I couldn't do it again for the next couple of years because I was signed to another show on another network, and they wouldn't let me out. But then they canceled that show, and then I crossed paths with Jerry, and Jerry's like, hey, can you come on the show for the last season? And I go, let me check my schedule.
But your dad wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, Dad wasn't. No.
He hated your character on Seinfeld, right?
Well, they came to love it, They did after a while. It's kind of like if you can't beat them, join them. But I got a 6-page letter from him when I did that first episode.
Really?
Yeah. How disappointed he was. It was the move episode. I stole, Elaine's move.
Of course.
I stole Jerry's move, and I used it on Elaine.
The swirl, the twist.
Like, this did not treat the sexual
right.
act with any sanctity. Dad, you should see some of the free porn I watch. There's very little sanctity.
I would imagine.
Very little sanctity going on.
Representing, this is your fan, representing one of your finest animated roles, and your voice is in a lot of stuff, but he believes that The Emperor's New Groove is the greatest movie that ever was and ever will be, and here's a clip.
Oh, right. The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. That poison?
Yes, that poison.
Let's bring in Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy is going to battle you in one question about this fine project. Johnny, please get in here and say hi to the man that created one of the finest animated voices in the history of... You believe this is your favorite movie ever, Johnny?
Not the finest, the greatest.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. We're saying the same thing, you idiot.
Not the finest, sort of finest.
Those are those synonyms. You don't understand
Well, you're
that.
not alone, Johnny.
Look at
661
this.
said The Emperor's New Groove is quoted by my home in my home on a weekly, if not daily basis. My sister and I had it on VHS as kids, and my kids watch it all the time. So we're passing it down from generation.
Here we go.
That's awesome. Well, look at this handsome young fellow. That didn't come across as creepy.
Yeah, not at all. Right?
Yes.
Here we go.
Young boy.
One question each. It's time for the man to battle the fan. First question goes to the fan. What is Kronk's real full name? Johnny, you are a fan. You should know this.
They don't...
Come on.
Yeah,
you claim you're a fan. What is
Yeah, I am a
Kronk's
fan.
real first name, total name, full name?
Kronkelius?
Wow.
Kronkelius the Third? Right?
Is that from memory, or you're just guessing?
I just refer to Yzma always referring to him as Kronk. And then Kronk.
You know your full name, Patrick?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you don't know it either?
Thank you,
no
see?
clue.
Kronker Pepe Kronkatits. Which I don't think I can say on the radio.
I think you need to jump out of that.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
You made that up right now.
I think this was just creator notes.
Yes, bro.
Your question now for Patrick. So no point for the fan. Let's see if the man gets a point. Which major company produced Emperor's New Groove?
Oh, tough question.
Disney, right?
All right, that is correct. You get the point.
I mean, it could be that easy.
The man gets the point. The fan gets no points. Get out of here, Johnny.
That was
Oh
a
my
soft
God.
serve right
Allie,
there.
you're next. Allie is
Look,
representing...
Johnny, I'm apologize
Get
for
out of
that.
here,
That's
Johnny.
not
Thank
fair.
you.
That's
You
not fair.
lose.
That's
Patrick
not fair.
Warburton is in
Thank you.
here to prove that the man knows more than the fan. Allie, you're representing fans of Family Guy.
Yeah.
As you know, Joe Swanson, one of the finest...
Wheelchair Joe.
Maybe the greatest animated handy-capable character in the history of film, TV.
What's Joe's real first name?
That's your question.
Joculus the third.
There you go.
Lord.
Here
Very
is a
good.
clip from Family Guy.
This is my wheelchair. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Without me, my wheelchair is useless. Without my wheelchair, I am useless.
Allie representing the fan. Here is your question.
All right.
What is the one thing on Spooner Street that Joe pays for that none of his actual neighbors pay for?
What?
It's a fair question for any fan of Family Guy.
His house?
No.
I don't know.
Patrick, you know this one?
No.
Cable. The only guy that actually
Well,
paid
he's
for
a
cable.
cop. He's going to walk the
Right,
line. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Except when he's not walking the line, because he doesn't walk the line.
Your question, to see if you know more as the man than the fan, is a spell Joe. That is your first
come
name.
on, Klein. These are
Spell
skewed questions.
JOPH.
Somehow that is still right. Allie. He gets the point.
Okay.
Now, I don't
You
get
know
to...
what? This is fixed.
I didn't
Yeah,
get to
I
write the
think
next
that's
question
right.
because it's a Seinfeld question, and I am, I believe, the biggest Seinfeld fan that ever
All
was
right.
and ever will be. But here's a clip, of course, Puddy.
What is that?
It's my new coat.
You ditched the fur?
Yeah, I saw Jerry wearing his. He looked like a bit of a dandy. Check it out. Hey, Paul. You got a question. You ask the 8 Ball.
All right, go ahead. Whatever question you have, I'm prepared to answer.
All right, Klein. What was Puddy's favorite radio station?
KROQ.
Seinfeld.
No. I mean, he was a fan of. I mean, that's not a Christian radio. He loved religious radio. He turned.
No, I need the actual
Oh, stop
frequency.
it! That's ridiculous. That's a stupid question.
Way to go, Allie. You know what? Hammer him back.
No,
Because
don't
he's
hammer
the-
me
Saying-
back. No.
If you're going to give these kinds of
He
questions to
preset-
us, then we're going to give it back to you.
Preset all of Elaine's car radio stations.
To what?
Love the Lord, like that sort of stuff.
88.9 AM.
BS.
AM
that's
is what I
BS.
was looking for.
He wouldn't have even known that one. That's crazy.
All
What's
right.
his question?
Here, Patrick. What was Puddy's job?
Oh, stop it. Mechanic. Everyone knows it.
Yeah,
Grease
and car
monkey.
salesman.
Right. Yeah. He's done a lot of great jobs. And he was a lover. Great lover, too. All right, whatever.
That
fine.
sounded weird.
You know,
right.
Puddy's favorite radio station was KROQ, man. I grew
Yeah.
up on KROQ. Look, I grew up in Huntington Beach. I went to Newport Harbor High School. I mean, and that was, everybody took such great pride because KROQ changed the world of music, you know what I'm saying? I had buddies that, worked on the station a little bit and helped out and stuff. They even created like a fake slogan called Team Swollen. Team Swollen, which really meant nothing. And we had those bumper stickers everywhere, but we had them all like Rachel Donahue, Jed the Fish. They all had these Team Swollen stickers on the back. It was all this underground, KROQ
That's
stuff.
great, dude. What a tribute. We lost Jed recently, unfortunately.
I know.
Jed passed.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
sad, but
yeah.
nice to know that Puddy grew up a diehard KROQ fan.
I mean, I
That's
believe
good.
that we had, like, at Orange Coast College, Black Flag play at lunch one day. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that went on down there in Orange County.
That's
back
so
in the day.
cool.
Who else has Black Flag play at lunch?
Yeah, wow.
I hate to bring this whole thing down now by letting Jake have a turn, but Jake's a big fan of the Tick, and he did want to battle the man in one question, the final round of the man versus the fan. Please
Are
bring
these
in.
questions going to be equal?
Please bring in Jake the
difficulty?
nerd. These are equal difficulty.
What
Jake the
color
nerd.
was the tick?
That's
that was blue.
No, that's not your question,
All
Jake.
right, thank
Jake,
you.
say hi to Patrick. I know
Hey,
you're
Patrick,
a huge
how you
fan.
doing,
What is the exact height and weight of the Tick, Jake?
Oh, he's I think between 7 and 8 feet and 300 and 400 pounds. What they say?
What? How do you know that?
Wow, he actually got it right. He wasn't supposed to know that one. 7 feet, 400 pounds. That's amazing. I can't believe that. All right, well, I was just going to ask Patrick, what is the Tick's battle cry?
Spoon.
There you go. Well, clearly the
no.
man knows more than the fan. The great Patrick Warburton, if you'd like to go see him film his special this Saturday, North Hollywood, call now. Call it 800-520-1067. We'll give you some tickets. Please have a great laugh and be loud and support this man as he is now taking over the comedy world. Patrick, a pleasure to have you in here on KROQ. It means a lot to all of us, and thank you. Come back anytime.
Thank you, Klein. Thank
We will
you,
be
Alan.
back.
Thank you.
More show and your Mumford & Sons tickets, but more importantly, your Patrick Warburton tickets after this. We know you didn't ask for these videos, but you're watching them anyway, which means you truly have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
So let this be a moment where we tell you to get your life in check.
Maybe you're still listening, or maybe you've completely checked out, or you're pretending to work at your desk right now. For whatever reason, thanks for watching, and we hope you watch more.
Yeah, and if you're supposed to be doing a different job right now, this is your friendly reminder to shuffle some papers and act annoyed and do things where you go like, oh, God, I'll get to this eventually, because that's what business people do.
Is that what you think business people do?
I assume so. I've never had a real job.
All right, so click like, subscribe to this or the podcast, or you can listen to the live show where you can't see our faces, and trust me, that's a bonus.
That's right, because this is what we also look like on the radio.
We don't look different.